Hello, everyone. How are you? How are you, everyone? I'm live here, and the live session for today will be only on scholarships. So, will not be any other topics. It will be scholarship question and answers. Couple days ago, I had discussion. Topic was on so many other things about green card, about just overall general questions. But today will be questions about green. Today will be just about the will be only on the lottery part. I mean, on the scholarship part. So I'll be answering questions. Hello, sir. How are you? Okay. How are you, Shago? Yeah, so as I said, today will be just as the title can see, is questions and answers on scholarships. So if you have any questions about scholarships, please ask those questions and I will be happy to answer those questions. So I ask you, don't ask questions about green card or any other things. This will be a session for scholarships. So Miss Toshi, you were asking a question, how can I get a scholarship? So the first thing is you have to identify what level of education are you talking about, because scholarship to get for PhD is different from scholarship for bachelor degree. So what kind of scholarship are you talking about? Okay, so I will be happy to know you the level of education you are talking about and what you are planning to apply, kind of that. Rajita, I don't know how you pronounce your name. Hello, sir. Thank you for your effort. And I say thank you so much. And thank you for you too for taking the time to be able to come here, asking questions or learning something. It means a lot for me for knowing that there are some people who are there and who are looking for opportunities. Yeah. So, Antwi Coffee, you are asking, please, I hold diploma in education in Ghana. What is the chance of getting scholarships? So if you have a diploma, so I believe you are looking for scholarships or bachelor's degree, but the chance for bachelor's degree scholarship is very, very small, because I have some of the videos I've been talking about scholarship for bachelor's degree. And that is the reason is there are very big, just like there are so many difficulties to get bachelor's degree. I've explained like the reason why it's difficult to get a bachelor degree if I go quick. One is just like many countries' priority is for masters and PhD, because they benefit a lot for people who already have bachelor degree. They're coming to do masters. And if you go to the countries where the language is not English, that means the bachelor degree is taught into using their own languages. So that is one of the difficulties on getting bachelor's degree. So one, I have a video here I'm going to upload which explain about undergraduate scholarships. And this video is talking about how it is difficult to apply and to get scholarships for bachelor's degree. And I explain various reasons as to why that is difficult. That's number one. But I've talked about the language part. I've talked about sorry, I'm searching. I've talked about the language part. Why is it difficult to get that one, undergraduate? But also the other reasons as to why someone looking for bachelor's degree is difficult to get, because when you go to those countries, for instance, you come to study in America, they prefer someone to be able to help teaching, for instance. So you have bachelor degree, I mean, you're coming to study bachelor degree, so they are not giving priority to people who are doing bachelor's degree. So I've uploaded that video. You can look at that link and it explains. Okay, sorry. But also there is one college, Berea College, which gives 100% scholarships for international students. Adolphe, I also answered the question about. I've answered the question about undergraduate scholarship, and I said though it's very difficult, So I'm also giving one university in US which has international student scholarships. Okay, so you can go to Berea College, and that is the link. You can be able to learn about how you can be able to get scholarships for bachelor's degree. Okay, another question comes from Shiaka Freddy. Hello, sir. Here in Rwanda, it's not possible to study the exams that can increase your English. How do I do to study international English? Do you mean like to improve your English language, just to be able to take the English proficiency test, or just to learn and practice English language? Because those are two things which are vastly different. So you can be able a little bit to explain. I can be able to help that one. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out so that you can be able to. I don't know if you can see me properly here. Okay, I don't know. Okay, the thing doesn't sit properly, so let me add a little bit of the weight here. Okay, maybe I can be able to, yeah. So if you can ask a specific question, I'll be able to help. When you are saying like to study English, you mean to study Bachelor of English, or to study Masters of English, or you mean to study English so that you can take the English proficiency test, like TOEFL or the GRE, I mean, those kind of English proficiency tests. Okay, let me go to another question. Fred, you are saying like, okay, I answered that one. Please, I watched your video on Berea College. Can I request the English proficiency text certificate from the university I attended for my diploma, or I have to write it again? They don't want that test. They don't care whether you studied in English language. You have to take English test. English test, you either take the TOEFL or you take this one. Okay. You take either test of English as a foreign language, either of those two tests. And the IELTS exam, International English Language Testing System, you take it at the British Council. Or you are going to take the TOEFL exam, which is test of English as a foreign language. And that test of English foreign language, it is given, depending on the country, there are different centers, but it's not from your university, like a normal one. You ask the direct link of the Berea College. Let me find it. But if you go to my video, it has the Berea College. Okay, just wait. Okay, let me find that video. Talking about Berea College. Okay, okay, just wait. I have the link of the Berea College application. I'm going to put it here. The direct link of Berea College for admissions and applications. And remember, for international students, this is a link for international students. Shaka, we were asking that you were talking about the exam, like taking the TOEFL exam and IELTS. The best way to practice is to be your only way. As I said, you can be starting like yourself. Like one is just using YouTube, watching news. There are different ways. You have to take your personal initiative to find different ways on how you can improve your English. But overall, they are not going to they're not going to talk about like something very complicated. It's just English grammar. For instance, if he's writing, they want to write, for instance, he comes here every day. So if we write it, he come, if we say he come, but instead of he comes, that means that is not proper English. So in the end, there is just the normal English. So to improve the English, first of all, you need to know the normal English, and you have to practice a lot. Just writing, you need to practice writing. Reading, you have to just reading novels. Time yourself on reading. Read the text and answer the questions. There are softwares you can download for free and try to practice yourself online. You can be able to take the headphone, like I'm giving example. Let me give the example. What you need to do, put the headphone like this way. and try to listen without watching the video. Many people, they do a mistake. They do a mistake of trying to watch CNN and to think that they can understand English. That is easy because you see the picture. But if you listen CNN without watching the pictures, it will be easier for you to improve your listening. So that is one of the ways you can be able to do that. Adolfo, you're asking, this is scholarship for undergraduate in Berea is free. When we say scholarship means it's free, they give you money. But you have to apply the application fee. You have to take the exam, either the TOEFL exam or IELTS exam. You have to, that will pay on your own to take that exam. But scholarship means they give you money. That's how I can simply say that. Moses Gitonga, is it true that you can be denied a visa when you have a passport and you have never used it? Yeah. To have a passport is not a guarantee to get the visa. A visa is a privilege, you have to know that. When you apply for a visa, they want to see the evidences. The evidence why you'll be given the visa is to prove to the consular that when I go to America, when I go to Britain, when I go to Canada, after 1 month, wherever I'm going for a visit, or I'm going to be a student, if I'm going to be a student for 2 years, after 2 years, when I graduate, I'll come back to my home country. If you can't prove that, they are going to deny you the visa. So, to have the passport is not a guarantee. To have admission is not a guarantee. To have the invitation letter is not a guarantee. What will help you is the proof that you are committed and you have resources. That means you'll never exceed the time you are asking to stay in that particular country, and you will not become illegal in that particular country. Adolfo, you're asking how much to pay for scholarship. If I put the link for Berea College, so you can go there and you can find how much it is, but I'm not so sure, but it will be like $50. I'm not so sure. Berea College application. So if you go to the Berea College link, you can be able to read that one, how much is going to do that. Yeah, I see ZK Gomda, you are back. Good morning, EBM. How are you doing today and the family? We are all doing fine. I hope you are doing very good. Yes, I'm doing very good, but we have a lot of snow. There is a big storm came, from yesterday to today, and it will continue until tomorrow, Monday. So, and that's why I'm up this time, because tomorrow we'll not be able to go to work. So everything is closed, even in the office. So that's why I'm staying up late. Now here it is almost 2:56 a.m. So it's very late. Okay. Any question? As I said, today I'm answering the questions about scholarships. So if you have questions about the scholarship, you can keep asking the question. ZK, you asking, I have completed college here in Ghana. What scholarship can apply or get? So it's very simple. When you apply, you finish your education. Most of the scholarship I say is for masters and PhD. So you have finished your college. That means you finish your bachelor degree. You need to have a very good results. That's number one. Very good results in what? In your GPA in general. So I wanted to find it like, so second thing you need to do is you need to take the English proficiency test. There are two tests usually I tell people. The first test is either you take the test of English as a foreign language, the TOEFL exam, or you take the British version, which is International English Language Testing System. So you have to take the test so that you can be able to qualify. It doesn't matter whether you have studied in English, whether you haven't studied in English. So I'm giving you some of the exams. Like you have to take the TOEFL exam. So that is sample. like you can get some of the essays. So if you go to some of the you go to this website, you can be able to get like various PDF books. So I'm going to put here where you can get free books. So if you go on that pdfdrive.com, you can get free books, and that one you can get it. You can put a TOEFL exam. You can get free books. You can be able to practice yourself. So you have to take the test. So you have, number one, you have completed bachelor degree. You need to take the English proficiency test. So whether you studied in English, whether English, whatever. If you are coming from a country you cannot dream in English, you don't speak English with your grandmother, English is not, you are not a native language speaker, you have to take the English proficiency test. So take the English test, then you have to apply for universities. And if you are saying, but in Rwanda, education there is something that is called technical education. It is difficult to get scholarship if you are studying this course. Point is, you need to have, whether technical college, whether it's a bachelor degree, you can study technical, you can get community, you can get diploma, or you have bachelor degree. If you have bachelor degree, you apply for masters. If you don't have bachelor degree, you have diploma, you are looking for bachelor degree. So the point I'm trying to explain is most of the scholarships are for bachelor's degree. Okay, I'm trying to find some of the. Another thing is, if you are looking for scholarships, you want to study, to pay for your own education. For those who are looking for difference on how you can be able to study or pay for your own school, one of the way is to go to study in Europe. And in Europe, I'm going to put here the information about studying in Norway. In Norway is free of charge. I want to get the link for this one. I don't know how to get it, but let me. Bachelor degree in Norway. It's free education in Norway. So I'm going to give you the link where you can get free education in Norway. There is no school fees. So in Norway. Yeah, so that one will be helpful. Okay, let me go to another question. Shaka, you are saying, sir, I understand, sir, now I understand that how can I get the certificate to take application for scholarship? That's what I say, like, go to British Council. British Council, they are the owners, British Council in your country. They have that IELTS exam. Go to British Council in your country and take that exam. Salami, you are saying my degree program in mathematics is poor, but my postgraduate is very good in computer science with a GPA of 69.1. Okay. So when you go to apply, you can apply you can apply masters and combine both your bachelor and you can combine it with your postgraduate together and just apply. Moses, you're asking, how long does it take for you to gain access in a European country? Let's say you are married a European citizen, for you to gain the citizenship. I'm going to answer that one, but usually I don't want to ask about more about green card, whatever. So in Europe, there is no country in the world you just, even if you marry someone, you become a citizen right away. Even if you're in Rwanda, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, any country in Africa, when you marry a citizen of the particular country, you become a permanent resident of that particular country. Each country has a different regulations, how long you need to be a resident of that particular country before you become a citizen. It's not just a jump. You marry American citizen or you marry someone from Norway, you become Norwegian right away. You become a permanent resident maybe for 5 years first. Many countries is 5 years. Few countries is 3 years, but many countries is 5 years. So you must be a resident of that particular country and being married to that particular citizen for 3 to 5 years, then you can become a citizen. But remember, I prefer to answer most of the questions for scholarships. Any other question, people? It is 3 a.m. on my time here. "20 minutes already passed. I would like to hear from you. Okay. So if you are looking for free education in Norway, I posted another link over there, so that will be able to help you for those who want to pay for their own education. If you want to pay for your own education, why can't you go to study, for instance, in Norway or Finland, where it is free? You don't need to pay anything. That means you just pay for your living expenses, and you still will be allowed to work for your situation. I was told you must pay, Moses, you're asking question. I was told you must pay 500,000 Kenyan shillings for you to get a registration university number. Is it true? When you say 500,000, you have to quickly do 500,000 is how much? Let me see on the calculator, because I have to divide by 100 and then see how much is that in. I'm not good in math, so 5,000 is not true. It depends. First of all, if you are applying, you applied for your own, that you are coming to pay for your own school. You don't have scholarships. Yes, you have to pay a certain amount of money, and it can be more than, when you say 500,000 Kenyan shillings is 5,000. That can be small or can be higher, but in most cases, if you are going to pay for your own, yes, you have to pay for a certain amount of money. But if you have scholarships, you don't need to pay anything because you have scholarships. So that's why we are talking about scholarships. But if you say you are going to pay for your own, yes, you have to pay for a certain amount of money to register. You cannot start going to class without paying for school fees. On the application and getting the visa, you will show the bank statement and everything, but you don't pay right away. But you cannot register to start a class without paying for school fees, if you are paying for yourself. But if you have a scholarship, the scholarship itself is the one they are going to pay for you. Abdi Samad, you say EBM, long life. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate. I have to keep to drinking some juice or some water so that I cannot fall asleep. It is 3 a.m. already. Yeah, so for those who do not know, okay, let me answer the question first of all. When Moses, you asking a question, when you have a vocational course with you, can you get a job in Europe? No, you can't. I have a video explaining that you cannot get a job in Europe or America or Canada while you live in Africa or live in Asia. The difficulty is, in order to get a job in Europe, you must have a working permit in Europe. You must have a working permit in America with a social security number again to get a job. No employer will employ someone directly from Africa to bring that person here, because you have to prove that that job you don't get people who have a good experience in your country, so that you can get someone from foreign country. And vocational education, what kind of job you are going to do here? You cannot come here and work in the restaurant and they give you the visa. Europe and US and Canada, Australia is not like going to the Middle East where you can go there and ask you for a security guard job. They can give you the visa. Here you cannot get that one. No, you can't. Siaka Fred, you were saying, yes, sir, now I understand then. So how can I get certificate to take for applying for scholarships. Shaka, I'm saying you have to take this exam, IELTS. IELTS exam is English proficiency exam at the British Council. In your country, you have to take that exam. Is English proficiency exam. Before that, you cannot. Latif, first of all, I'm so sorry, brother. I know you are doing well in Sweden. Given that it's unique, hard to get a scholarship in the US for undergraduate education, is it worth for effort, or is it better to wait until when you do to do your masters? Latif Amaz, my friend, how are you, man? I promised to give you a call like the last 2 weekends, and I haven't done so. I'm so sorry, and I'm going to answer that question. Yes, you raised a very good point, Latif. That's why in my video, when I'm explaining about undergraduate scholarships, I explain how difficult it is to get undergraduate scholarships, that you cannot get undergraduate scholarship because if you go to Sweden, like where you are, Norway, they use bachelor degree their own language. So there are very few countries in the world which speak English language as a mother tongue, as a national language. You are talking about US, you are talking about UK system over there, you are talking about Australia, New Zealand, half of Canada, few countries around the world. So, but if you go for a master's degree, all European countries, they give masters. There are so many programs in English language. So there are very few universities in the countries where they speak English. You can go to study bachelor degree. Secondly, those countries which have bachelor degree, they speak English, they prefer more people to go to do masters and PhD than bachelor degree. Why? Because, for instance, in the US, what they do, they give you what you call assistantship program. So if you come to US and then you are going to do masters or PhD, they give you assistantship. You assist a certain job in the department, teaching, being seminar leader, tutorial assistant, things of that nature. But someone doing bachelor degree cannot be able to give that assistance. So that's why they prefer masters over bachelor. They prefer PhD over bachelor. Bachelor degree is 4 years in the US, for instance. Masters is 2 years or 1 year. So if the aim of scholarship is to help, for instance, Africa or Asia, so they prefer to give to bring 2 people from Africa than giving 1 person for bachelor degree. And the people with the master's or PhD can have a bigger impact in Africa than someone with a bachelor degree because people have already a bachelor degree. So in that video, I'm explaining about bachelor degree scholarships, how difficult it is. And though I explain about Berea College, I usually tell people it is better to do bachelor degree in your country and get good results and then you go for master's degree in the US or Europe because there are so many programs. That's number one. But secondly, why you need to wait? Because you cannot just put your entire life just for Berea College, just one college. What if you don't get it? Because Berea College take 30 students, international students around the world, and each year they get 300 to 400 applicants. So yes, Latif, you are okay, and I like your idea is the same one which I've discussed to people. It is better to wait to do bachelor degree in your country, get higher results, and then you go for master's degree because there are so many scholarships for master's degree and the preference is given to master's and PhD than bachelor's degree. And again, there are so many people who are still very young. They just finished high school. You are just 18 years old. You are 20 years, 19 years old. Yes, you might think that you are so much matured. But trust me, these countries in first world, they are so advanced. Some people, they can get confused when you come here. You just lived from dormitory, from boarding school, the life of going with the bell, go to eat, and then you come here, you stay in New York, you stay in Sydney. Sometimes it's get confused. Some people, they cannot survive. So it is better to be in your country, study bachelor degree. You'll be more matured to handle complications and you'll be able to be determined. When you come here, you can be able to study and work to have that kind of life and to be able to excel. Majority of people, they are able to do in bachelor degree, but majority of people also, they fail to accomplish their task and finalizing when they come so young for bachelor's degree in these first world countries. So I'm sure I answered very well. And I like your support, just your opinion on that, Latif. So that is very, very good. I will try my best to give you a call back. I will do my best, my friend. Okay, Edwin Wilfred, you say, is advanced diploma considered as well when applying for scholarships? Some countries, I mean, I understand advanced diploma in many countries, they say is equivalent to bachelor's degree. So some countries, they are okay with that, to upper direct as masters. Some countries, they don't care. They say as long as your certificate is not written bachelor degree, advanced diploma is not. So you can apply direct, because which I don't make sense. Why do you say this is diploma, but advanced diploma is equivalent? Why do we call it equivalent? Just call it bachelor degree. If you say beans is equivalent to peas, yes, beans is not peas. Simple. Make it easy. We just call bachelor degree. Patrick Kwabena Mensa. Okay, how much will it cost for me to get the US visa? It depends what kind of visa. Each visa has different kind of visa fee. Student visa, I think, is 160 something. The visa fee, which is the tourist visa, the same. But if you win green card lottery, the visa is 330. So you have to know which type of visa you're talking about. Each visa has a different amount. Nginila Mabula, you ask, hello, I hold a diploma in pharmaceutical science in Tanzania. I would like to ask if scholarship in Norway consider also bachelor degree of pharmacy. Yes, in Norway, I'm not talking about scholarship. In Norway, the quota scheme scholarship, which used to give scholarship for majority of people from developing countries, is already suspended 3 years ago, I think. So what happens is, in Norway, there is no school fees. So if you go to you watch my video about Norway, it's a free education. So you apply, find the university put there, they speak English. They use English as a medium for instruction. So if you get those universities, you get over there, technically you are going to pay for your own. So you are supposed to get, you are going to pay for living expenses, but school fees there is no school fees. So that means you end up, you are told to be maybe have at least, maybe to start with, maybe 10,000, which will be, 5,000 US dollar, maybe, which will be 10 million. So you'll have that to deposit in the bank. But when you arrive in Norway, you'll be given work permit. You have to find some jobs. But in the end, it will be a worth than saying, let me go to study in the US, let me go to study in England, because you have to pay school fees and living expenses. But in Norway, there is no school fees. Tuition fees is not there. So you're supposed to pay just living expenses, which will be easier in that way. As Shaka, you are saying, thank you, sir. You are kind, always help those people like me. Bless you, and always appreciate, and I appreciate for you to be here, to be able to participate here. Okay, Salami Muhammad. Sir, I listened to you on scholarships in Belgium. Please, like I said, I still applied with my poor results in degree and good results in postgraduate in computer science with the weighted average mark, that one. So all the best. That's, I said, usual. When you have that combination, it helps. Like you did a bachelor, you didn't get a good score, then you add something else. That's why I say usually they don't look just one item. It's not only about GPA. That's why sometimes people with higher GPA, they might not get scholarships. Why? Because they believe that, oh, I have first class, so because I have first class, I get a scholarship. No. If you have good results, but you have a poor statement of purpose, they don't give you scholarship. If you have poor resume, you start writing about your tribe, religion, place of birth, age, marital status, instead of writing work experience, instead of writing what are you going to do when you graduate. So sometimes it's beyond the GPA. There is what we call the whole person perspective. Yes, GPA is very important. GPA is just a gate pass. But there are so many other things beyond GPA they are looking at. Let's say you have very good GPA, but the statement of purpose is very poor, that I want to go to study in Sweden so that I can become a Swedish citizen. They are not giving you scholarship because they know your aim is to go to stay there. Even if that is your aim, don't write it. Latif, you say, no worries. Thank you for explanation. Thank you to you too for bringing that point, and I really appreciate. And again, I will try my best to give you a call. Yeah, I will do my best. I'm so sorry. Heavy Musoni. Thanks, sir. You are kind. Always help those like me. Okay, I've already, I think, that one. I appreciate. I can do many things for those that I did not know you. Yeah, I'm glad that It gives you a little perspective, and so that you can be able to give any kind of support to others and yourself to be able to better yourself. And that is the purpose of life. One of the things, and Latif will be able to support me on this one because you live in Sweden, you can understand. This is my opinion. Western countries, Europeans, or general white people in general, or Americans, Canada, white people in general, what they do to succeed is not that they are smarter than Africans or black people. No. There is one thing which makes difference between these two, between black people and white people. What makes the difference is most of the time, white people or Westerners, they want to help one another. When someone has information about something to succeed, they share online. You ask, how did you manage to start your business? They will give you, I bought this app. I put my numbers here. I want to get the loan. I use this this is how to get the loan. They'll give you A to Z how to succeed, how they were able to succeed on certain things. But for us Africans, if you ask, how did you manage to have this kind of business? To say, oh, you just pray to God. Really? Seriously? Oh, it's my secret how to make a chapati. Seriously? So that's the problem. And that's why I'm trying my best. I've been trying my best to avoid the same mistakes of many people. When I see Latif many times when he sees any opportunity, any link about scholarship, he's posting. Other people have seen this is how we have to do. Whenever you see an opportunity, whether you are benefiting, whether it doesn't benefit, someone might be looking for that opportunity. Just put it on your Facebook, put it on your social media. Someone else can benefit. And if you keep doing that, that's how we can be able to make Africa better and how we can be able to compete in higher level. Okay, the name of British exam is IELTS, which is standing for International English Language Testing System. Sorry. And if you go to the Google search, I can just put I can put the website too, British Council. So if you go to British Council in your country, you can be able to get it. That is the link for. So you can find you can find on that link. You can be able to get the what is the test all about. Where can you get the test, whatever, things of that nature. But if you put IELTS in Tanzania or British Council exam, whatever, you can be able to get exactly what you are looking. Okay, let me go to another question. Schneider Ahmed. Hi, dear, I have degree of computer science and how can I get a scholarship? So as I said, there is difference of getting scholarship in Europe and in America. In Europe, you have to take just the English testing system, English exam only. And there is no application fee for the universities in Europe. So take the exam first. Despite of whether you have first class, whatever GPA you have, take the English test. Not taking the test is just like trying to go to heaven without trying to die. I'm saying that. Then you have to apply. There is no application fee in Europe. You can be able to apply many universities. You have to apply 15, 20 universities, many universities. In America, you need to take the English proficiency test, and then they have another test exam. I don't know, you cannot see here. It's called the GRE. There is another exam here. It's called the GRE, Graduate Record Exam. You have to take this exam. But if you are trying to do the management exams, you have to take the Graduate Management Admission Test. Yeah. And if you are going to take a law exam, you take LSAT. I don't have the MCAT, which is the... I don't have the MCAT here right now, but I have the MCAT, which is the MCAT is the medical exam for those who are taking examination. So you have to take the English, you have to take the test, then you go to apply. So the other things are very simple. things which make it simple. What I'm talking about, things like you have to take how to write a proper resume, things of that nature. You have to use the proper okay. There are people who do not know the difference between the IELTS versus TOEFL. Which exam should you take? I know people can ask that exam. So I made a video explaining both exams. What is the difference between these two exams? They are the same style, same proficiency. They test the same thing. Yeah. It's just up to you. Jello Sad thank you, sir, for your good information. May the Lord bless you. Thank you so much, and thank you for you too. Moses, you were asking a question. I have so many friends of mine who have applied for the American visa and they got denied. They are well educated and traveled to various countries, even being connected by family members abroad. What happened? As I said, number one, applying for the US visa, applying for Canadian visa, applying for Sweden visa, applying for Norway visa. Visa is a privilege, is not a guarantee. Because you are educated, you are going to be given the visa. No, it's not that. That's number one thing. Secondly, people sometimes might not have the correct details or information. You might think, oh, because I'm educated, I have a bachelor degree. But you go to the embassy, they say, give us the bank statement. Your bank statement is having $1,000. And your job, you are a teacher, you are a bank manager, but bank manager, your salary is $800 per month. So if your salary is just $800, in the US, if you work at McDonald's, you get $2,000 per month. What will make you not work at McDonald's, go back to become a bank teller? If they ask you that question, how are you going to prove that you are committed to your country? So someone can be educated, but how do you answer the questions from the US embassy? Is a different story. They can ask you a question. You are single. You are going to US, and the daughter or your college mate loves you and wants to get married to you. What are you going to? Are you going to, oh man, it's my dream. I want to marry American girl. Oh man, you are denied. They know your aim is to get citizenship. So it doesn't matter whether you're educated. There are so many things of that nature. But that's why I'm insisting many people, if you go through education and you have scholarships, you have a higher chance of getting visa than if you say, I'm going to study, I'm going to pay for myself. So for instance, I'm the one, let's say I'm a consular. You come to me, you have a bachelor degree. You say, I want to go to do masters in political science in America. What is the school fees, tuition fees? Is $15,000. What is the cost of living you are going to stay in California? You add $20,000. So $40,000 per year to study political science in America, while University of Nairobi, you can study there the same degree for $800 per year. So tell me, what makes you to go to spend $40,000 while you are Tanzanian and University of Dar es Salaam, you are from Ghana, University of Accra has the same program for $1,000 per year, $1,000. Why do you spend this money? What answer are you going to give that you are going to disappear as illegal in that country? But if you have a scholarship, you can have justification. I'm going to study at UCLA because I applied and got a scholarship. They are paying for me. I'm not using this money. You are going to the US Embassy and tell me, how are you going to finance your studies in $40,000 at UCLA or Stanford? You know, my uncle is going to pay me $20,000 and my brother-in-law. The brother-in-law has a son, has a daughter. Why brother-in-law cannot pay for their children? They pay for you. Let's be honest. So when you are going there, even if you are educated, it's not about, there are certain times that you can be taken out by lack of documentation, but you can be taken out because of failure to answer properly. Sometimes you might have documents and answer properly, but you can be denied the visa too. So it can happen. But if you have a scholarship, you have higher chances of getting visas than if you are going to pay for yourself. That's why I dedicated my life for over 14 years, 12, 13, 14 years, talking about scholarship every single day. Aristide, is it possible to do GRI within 30 days? Do you recommend studying for a longer period? I wish you to study law or international affairs. Yes, you can do GRE within 30 days. GRE is here. The book has mentioned it is here, the book. GRE exam, no matter what, there is English portion of GRE is a very complicated part you'll ever seen in your life. It doesn't matter whether you are American, whatever, because there is an aspect of vocabulary, for instance. It's just one word you have never seen in your life. What does that mean? So that's happened. And if you do not know math, there is aspect of math. Math for Form 2, junior high school math is there. So if you are bad in math like me, even if you practice for 6 months, you will still be bad. So yes, you can be able to practice for 30 days and take the GRE exam. You can do that. So some universities, they tell you from the start that GRE is very important to take, but the grades, it varies depending on people who applied. You might get better GRE, but you have poor GPA. So they are going to look for so many factors. But for me, even if you have poor GRE, but you have to do GRE, without taking GRE, complete your application is incomplete. So yes, you can be able to do that. But if you say you are also planning to study law, remember in the US, they don't have Bachelor of Law. They have Masters of Law as LLM if you have Bachelor of Law in your country. But US, they have what they call Juris Doctor. JD or Juris Doctor, in most cases, they don't have a scholarship for international students. You have to know that from the beginning. And if you want to do law in US, you have to do the LSAT exam. This exam is a different exam. So you need, like if you say I want to do international affairs or law, so you have to decide from the beginning, because otherwise you'll be required to take the LSAT and taking the international, I mean, you have to LSAT for law, but also taking the GRE for international affairs. But my advice will be better you take all the courses which you'll be able to take one exam for GRE, to apply all the courses which are not law, so that you can use one exam than taking 2 exams for the matter of using the money. And yeah. Salami, you were asking the IELTS exam. I think it should be the academic IELTS, yes or no? No. In most cases, they want to just general. They want to know if you know English. That's all. They don't care much unless otherwise the university is going to specify you have to take the subject, academic one. But in most cases, it's just the general one. Okay. I don't know. Let me see if I've skipped any question. I haven't skipped any question so far. Okay, let's get another question, people. 3:31 a.m. So I think I have a few minutes to do this one. Then I have to fall asleep. Yeah. I've been here for 48 minutes, so I will do for 12 more minutes, and that will be at 4 a.m. on my time. Then I can call it a night or call it a day for some people in other countries. Then we can see from there. Okay. What other question you are having for me? But overall, there is what we call your question, Papu, is IELTS will provide a scholarship or not? No, that is just exam to prove that you know English. That's all. It has nothing to do that they are not providing scholarships. No, they don't give you scholarship. You take the exam is a requirement to prove that you know English. Someone cannot give you $50,000 and you go there and you do not know English. You have to prove that you know English. So the exam is a requirement. It's just like when you apply for masters, you need to have bachelor degree. You need to have a transcript. So the transcript doesn't give you money. It's a requirement, a checklist. You need to have transcript. Bachelor degree, tick. You need to prove English certificate. You need to prove. You need to have this one. No. Aristide, you were asking, in the Norway example, can people on study permit work in the country for pay for their own expenses? Yes. But before you go there, you cannot say, my work, you cannot say, when you need to prove that you'll be able to survive to cover the cost of living. So from the one when you are going to the embassy, you cannot say my work the way I can support myself, I'll be working there in Norway. No. You need to have your own at least 5,000, 10,000 in the bank to prove that I have my own money here. But while you are there, then you can be using the money for work to pay for your own. But you need to show, first of all, you have the money. Not that, oh, I'll just wait when I'll be working, then I can get that money to pay for my apartment. No. Okay, another question is, if I have a high school certificate from Africa, then I start university or college in America. You start college. But remember, unless others you come to pay for your own. In most cases, I've shown like you can go back if you haven't been at the beginning. Why is it difficult to get bachelor degree in America? Entire America, there is one university which I only know with a bachelor degree, scholarship for international student. And you cannot plan your entire life based on one college. No. So study bachelor degree in your own country in Africa. Then you find scholarships for masters. But if you want to pay for your own school, okay, go ahead and do that. I see you asking again on GRE, how much do you think your score determine the university you get? Each university has a different score, and it is on a percentile. For me, what I can simply say, do the GRE, whatever best you can, regardless of the score, because especially in America, they are not looking just for GRE only. You can have very good score, but you have bad GPA. You can have very good GPA, you have very good score for GRE, but you have bad resume. You have bad statement of purpose, bad recommendation letter. You cannot get in. So each university, they have different score. I cannot say different. You need to have this one. Okay, Benny Christian, you're asking, how much money do I need to have in my account for DV lottery interview? I'm planning not to answer much of the question about green card, but just a quick way is green card doesn't care about the bank statement. It's a different situation. You can go and read on my YouTube on the playlist. There is green card information. There are videos. I answered those one. But green card, usually they don't ask about bank statement, things of that nature. But if you have, it's okay. They don't care how much you have. Compare it to the education. For education, if you are going for bachelor degree and the school fees is 50,000, you need to have 50,000. Yeah. Utoni, you were asking, why when applying for PhD do they ask to send the proposal? Number one, that's why I wrote the book, PhD Scholarships for Africans in America or in the United States. PhD in Europe, you need to have a proposal. Why? Because PhD in Europe, you study by thesis. So from day one, you don't go to the classroom. It's you and your professor. So if you are going to start, let's say you want to do PhD and you are going to write a topic about US political elections, you need to have a supervisor. So you cannot just go without a proposal. What if you go to that university and there is no a person in that specialization? So that's why they need a proposal. If you're going to study by thesis, and especially in Europe, you need to have a PhD proposal. And the proposal is 5 pages overall. What are you going to write? What is your methodology? What do you want to achieve? So that you can get a supervisor. That's the purpose of it. But if you are applying PhD in America and in Canada, in most cases, is a PhD by coursework and dissertation. There is no PhD by thesis in the US. So you are going to the classroom like any other master's student. So for that case, in the US, if you apply, they don't need a PhD proposal. Because the proposal you are writing after 2 years of study. Yeah, so that is the difference. So the reason is when you do PhD by thesis, they require a proposal. But if you do PhD by coursework and dissertation, they don't require that one. And I have a video, I don't know, okay, I have a video which I explain the difference between scholarship by thesis and the scholarship by coursework. So that is something which, if you know that, it will help you to see the difference. Okay, PhD between Europe and America. So I'm going to put that one, and that one will be able to help you. PhD in USA versus Europe. In other words, thesis versus dissertation, kind of that. So this will be able to help you to understand the difference between the two. Like if you study in the US, you do PhD by that one. Salami, you're asking recommendation letters to apply for scholarship. How do you get that? Who will give it to you? So you are applying to study masters or PhD. Obviously, the people who taught you in bachelor degree, if you're applying for masters, the professors or doctors, your teachers, they have to explain your academic experience. So if most cases they want 3 recommendation letters, so at least 2 must be academic recommendation, people who taught you on bachelor degree if you're applying for masters. If you're applying for PhD, obviously most of people who taught you for master's level, at least 2 must be academic. And at least 1, either you can have all 3 academic, but at least 2 academic, and 1 can be someone who is their supervisor at work. You can do that. Yeah, so I have also a video about recommendation letters. Who can recommend you recommendation letters? What things they need to recommend? What mistake to avoid when they are going to put in the recommendation letter? Because many people, they do mistake. You can decide to get some people. So, okay. Okay, let me... PhD by dissertation versus thesis. Yeah. Okay. Kualau, you ask, first of all, let's see, Utoni, you asking, thank you very much for explanation. Thank you too. Kualau, you're asking, EBM, please tell me, is it possible to win scholarships when I don't have money? The answer is yes or no. Yes and no. 1, you have to take the English proficiency test, which you have to pay money. Unless others, you can be waiting for scholarships which don't require that one, but it's 1 in a million. So out of 50 scholarships provided, maybe 1 don't require English requirement. For instance, if you go to the link here on my playlist about scholarship, there is a scholarship for Belgium. They didn't require the English proficiency test. So if you can apply scholarships which don't require English proficiency test, that means you can apply. In Europe, there is no application fee. 99% of all scholarships in Europe, they don't require application fee. So if you apply scholarships which don't require English proficiency test, and they're in Europe, you don't need to have any money. It's just you and your internet. But if you take the English test only and apply in Europe, you just the money for English. You can be able to apply, you can be able to apply to many universities. But in the US, you cannot. You must invest because there is application fee, there is English proficiency test, there is GRE or GMAT exam. That's why when I talk about US and Europe, I usually tell people, majority of people, you have to manage your resources wisely. Focus on Europe. Even if your dream is to come to America, start with Europe first.